sun yi amfani da tsarin mulkin da suka kafa bayan jihadi. Kowane ɗan Najeriya ko ɗan arewa ne ko ɗan kudu ne ko ɗan gabas ne ya kamata mu ji wannan mu koya daga tarihin mutanen Hausawa. Domin yau sun ci gaba da kashe mutane a Plateau, garuruka 67, 64 communities taken over by these people. 67 suka kwace, suka canza sunan garurukan nan. Yau yana faruwa. A shekara 2024, shekara 2025, su fulanuka suna kan kashe mutane, suna kwashe garuruka, suna canza sunansu. Kowa ya yi shiru. This happened in 1804. Today, they still continue in 2024, 2025 to take over lands, kill people, and change the name of that community and occupy them. It's in the news. 64 communities taken over by the Fulani people. Somebody is sitting down and thinking he is immune. Somebody is sitting down and thinking that it has not gotten to his place. The Tarok people of Plateau are thinking that they are men, they are too strong. But no, guess what? When they finish with your neighbors, you become powerless. The time to act is now. They seize the towns and cities and change their names. And before you know, in few years to come, there will not be any place called by the ancient name anymore. Yawancin kun tuna da faɗan da aka yi a Yelwa a Shandam local government na Plateau, na jihar Plateau. Shekara 2004, 2004, an yi faɗa an kashe mutane da yawa lokacin mulkin Joshua Dariye. Domin Joshua Dariye ya yi ƙoƙari a samu zaman lafiya, Fulanuka suka ki, sai suka zarge, suka zuga Obasanjo, sai ya cire shi a mulki. Me ya damuwan? Me ya kawo faɗan nan? In ba ku sani ba, yau don gaya muku. Garin Yelwa ba sunan shi ne Yelwa ba. Asalin sunan Yelwa shine Inshar. Sunan da Gmai an kwaya suka ba da kasan Yelwa kenan, Inshar. Sai Fulanuka suka zo, suka kwace kasan nan, suka saka emiyansu. Sai suka canza sunan Inshar zuwa Yelwa. Amma a lokacin mulkin Dariye sai aka ba ma Inshar mulki. Sai suka ce to, idan aka ba mu mulkin nan, sai dai a canza sunanmu zuwa asalin sunanmu. Sai Fulanuka da ke zama a kasan wani a Yelwa suka ce, aina ba za su yadda ba. Suka fara zanga-zanga, suka fara tada hankali, suka fara kashe mutane a kasan wani, a kasan Ankwayawa, a kasan Tarok, a kasan Gumai. Amma sai a ce maka, ai damuwanka Inyamurai ne, damuwanka yan Biafra ne, damuwanka wene. Duk wannan yaudara ne ake yaudarar da ku, amma ba ku tunani da mun an rufe idanunku da addini. An sa ku a cikin kurkukun addini, ba ku tunani. Ana kwashe gadonku, kasanku, arzikinku. If you do not know the crisis that happened in a place called Yelwan Shandam in Plateau State in 2003/2004, the crisis that led to the removal of Joshua Dariye, the executive governor of Plateau State, by the Obasanjo's administration, it was not a crisis of religion, like they said it. The newspaper tell you it is Hausa Muslim, it is Muslim Christian. That is a pure lie. The original name of the place you know as Yelwa is called Inshar. That is the name that the Gmai people gave their town before the Fulani people gradually took over in Shar and renamed it to Yelwa and installed their chief, their king, and begin to rule Yelwa, even though you can hardly see a Fulani man in Yelwa Shandam. From Yelwa all the way to Ibi, all the way to Taraba, you can hardly see a single Fulani man. Yet, they are the kings of those communities. When during the administration of Joshua Darie, they wanted to give them a local government in Yelwa. The people, the owner of the land, the indigenous people, now said, if you are going to give us this political position, we will need it to bear the original name of our town. And the Fulani people, who are strangers, who have no stake in the entirety of Plateau State, let alone Shandam local government, said no. They rebelled and they fought and they killed people simply because they want to retain that fake name that they gave to the town that is owned by the rightful people, and people were killed. Pressure was mounted on Olusegun Obasanjo, and he had to declare state of emergency in Plateau State and remove Daria for 6 months. Some of you did not know that that is the real reason behind the ordeal of Joshua Daria, because he stood by his people. This is the kind of people that we are dealing with. So if you are a Yoruba man, you are any tribe whatsoever in Nigeria, today we are speaking to our Hausa people, and you think that it has happened in the past, it's not going to affect you, think twice, because it's happening. It happened in 2004, it happened in 2003, it's happening in 2024, and still continue happening in 2025. These are the people we are dealing with. Sun kafa wani tsari inda Fulani ke zama masu mulki yayin da Hausawa ku ke zama talakawa a kasar ku. They institute a system where the Fulani man will continue to lead and dominate, while the indigenous Hausa people will continually remain the poor people, the lowest of the society. If you live in the north, in Katsina, in Kanu, in any place in the north, and you see almajiris, the urchins around the street, watch them and see if you can find just 2% of them looking like Fulani. You will not see. How many Fulanis are almajiris? When the Uromi situation happened, and Hausa Malam came out to say that if you need wayward people, that they have them in numbers, that they are going to make Nigeria unstable if the people who kill their so-called hunters, human hunters, are not fished out. Who are those young Easter? Who are those riffraffs that he was referring to? Who are those jobless people he was referring to? Who are those never do good or never do well that he's referring to? He's referring to the indigenous Hausa people that have been emasculated to the point that they can no longer breathe. A siyasar Nigeria, Fulani suna kan gaba. Daga sa Ahmadu Bello Sardauna Sokoto, wanda ya kasance shugaban Arewa a lokacin samun yancin Najeriya, har zuwa shugaban kasa kamar Muhammadu Buhari, Fulani ne. Musa Yar'Adua, Fulani ne. From the time of Sardauna of Sokoto till today, all the northern people that have been president, how many of them are Hausa people? if you don't count people like Gowon who was used, or puppets. There's never been a true Hausa person who was ever ascended the office of the president of Nigeria. Never happened. But they come in the name of we are the North. Sai su zo a sunan Arewa, ai mu yan Arewa ne. Sai a yi mulkin a sunan Arewa, amma asalin abin da ake nima da mun a samu a bawa mulki ya shiga hannun Bafulatani ne. Shi ne abin suke nima. Sai a zo sai a gaya mana cewa ai Arewa ne, ai mu Arewa ne, ai mu Arewa ne. Idan ana maganan zoni, yaushe ne tun da muka shiga mulkin demokradiyya a shekara 1999, 1999, har zuwa yau da ake maganan zoni, ana juya mulki da yankin Najeriya daban-daban. Yaushe ne aka taɓa yin zonin zuwa ƙasar Arewa, har yan Arewa wanda suke kira kansu yan Arewa su fito su ce a zaɓi wannan Bahaushe? Bai taɓa faru ba, kuma bare faru ba. Since we enter into democracy in 1999 till today, and we start talking about zoning, that they say zone presidency to this part of Nigeria, to the south, to the east, to the north. Has there been any time where the presidency is zoned to the north and a Hausa man was considered? Never. Never. It has never happened. It will never happen. Because the reality is that their agenda has nothing to do with the north. It has everything to do with the dominance of the Fulani people. But they use the term north to close your eyes and your mind and point you to a different direction. But beside that, there is even far more bigger things that were used as a way of deceiving the indigenous Hausa people. Abubuwa da yawa, hanya da yawa suka bi domin yaudarar ‘yan Hausawa na asali, ‘yan ƙasa na asali a ƙasan Hausawa. Idan ina magana ina ce ‘yan ƙasa na asali, akwai dalili. Domin ba kowane ɗan ƙasa na asali ba. Akwai ‘yan ƙasa na asali. Idan ni haka, idan aka haife ni a jihar Plateau, ko an haife ni a Nasarawa, ko a Taraba, ko a Adamawa, ni Igbo ne. Ni ba ɗan Taraba bane, ni ba Jikun bane, ni ba Tifi bane, ni ba Urukun bane, ni ba Bajari bane. Za a iya a ce, ni ɗan ƙasar Najeriya ne, to gaskiya ne. Amma ni ba ɗan ƙasa na asali a Taraba ba ne, ni ba ɗan ƙasa asalin Plateau ba ne. Ya kamata duk abin da zai faru in koma gari na. Shi yasa idan ina maganar Hausawa ina ce ‘yan ƙasa na asali, domin garin Hausawa akwai masu ƙasan. Fulanuka ba'i ne, baƙi ne. When I speak and I said indigenous people, it is because there is difference between indigenous people and citizens. Citizen is a political creation of the Europeans to give them access to towns and cities and nations that they do not belong to, so that by the virtue of the law of the city-states, they are able to have equal rights with the indigenous people. Thereby, they can outsit them and lead them and take over their place under the guise of citizenship. When I speak of the Hausa people, I am not talking about citizenship of Nigeria. I am talking, for example, if I myself was born in Plateau, in Taraba, in Nasarawa, in Bauchi, in Kaduna, I am still an Igbo man. I am never an indigenous person of Plateau, Taraba, Nasarawa, or Sokoto. By law, you can say I'm a citizen of Nigeria, according to your law. But I am never an indigenous person of Sokoto, of Plateau, of Nasarawa, of anywhere. That is why no matter what, I must go back to the land where I am an indigent. That is why when I speak about the Hausa people, I say Yankasana Asali, the indigenous people of Hausa land, because the Fulanis are strangers. They came to Hausa land 4 centuries apart. And Hausa people, in their usual peaceful disposition and magnanimity, gave them access, open arms, and accepted them, and they strike at the least opportunity. Let me deviate a little bit and go back to Nasarawa State. Mazi Jonathan, do you know how the Hausa, the Fulani people took over the kingship of the place you know today as Lafia in Nasarawa State, the capital of Nasarawa State? They came there as visitors, as strangers. They lived and they were servants of the king of Lafia. In Hausa language, there's something they call rumbu. Rumbu in English you call granary. That is where you store food in those days. It is a round-shaped structure built with mud and roofed with grass. They put their farm produce in it and they protect it. For years, it does not get rotten. Now, these Fulani people came and they deliberately killed a number of monkeys. They went to the bush, killed monkeys, and cut off the heads of those monkeys and buried them inside the granary of the king of Lafia. Put them amongst the crops that are preserved in the granary, in the rumbu. Sun kashe biri, sun yanka kan birin da yawa suka sa a rumbun sarkin Lafia, and they allow it there to stay for months. Fulani people are very patient people when they want to emasculate you, trust me. We know them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has opened our eyes, and we have been able to think back and realize that truly these people are to be feared. If you walk into a room and you find a Fulani man and a snake, kill the Fulani man first. Trust me. They bury the heads of these monkeys in this granary for years, for months, until it got rotten and the skin peeled off and deteriorated, decomposed. And then they went in the town and they rang alarm. They called on the people and they said, look, see what your king is doing. Your king has been killing children and is using their heads for ritual, and we have the evidence. The people were shocked. The king was shocked. Are you not my friends? I gave you food, I feed you, I gave you a place to stay. Why are you doing this to me? Our one Nigerianist Igbo brothers, I hope you listen to this. That your cravings and desire to please the caliphate, I pray it does not lead to the end of your own generation, not mine. The people came in number. The king was confident that he is innocent. The Fulani men led the people to the granary, opened it up, and they found the skull of monkey. Tell me, how can you differentiate the skull of a monkey and that of a baby? That is how the king of Lafia was taken off and executed by his people. And the Fulani people took over the town and continued to lead until they used Islam to infuse it, and now it does no longer matter who leads as long as the person is a Muslim. This is the Fulani people. So all the presidents that have led in zoning, they always zone to the north, and they mention it, Fulani are the first choice. When the man from, what do you call it, from Kwara State, Bukola Saraki, decided to run for president because he believed that that Ilori, that Kwara State is part of the north. Yoruba people, I pity you. What happened to him? Did he even get the recognition of the northern people? They know you. You can pray together, you can do Allahu Akbar together, but they know their agenda. Tell me why it must be Buhari. Tell me why it must be Yaradua. Tell me why it must be Atiku. There is something they have in common. Kabilar Hausawa ce mafi girma a Kano. Suna da kashi 82 a cikin 100. 82% of Kano State is Hausa people. Kabilar Fulani ce da kashi 10 kadai a cikin 100. Only 10% of the Kano State is the Fulani people. Let's even assume under the law of Nigeria they have become citizens. Are they not in minority? Have you asked yourself, how did you vote and continue to vote for a Fulani man to lead you, and you don't even know that? As we go on, you will understand how it happens. In Kano, a jihar Kano, gwamnan jihar Kano ba Fulatani ne. Mataimakin gwamna ba Fulatani ne. Sarkin Kano da sauran sarakuna wasu yankuna jihar Kano ba Fulanuka ne. Shugaban majalisar dokokin jihar Kano Fulani ne. Mafi yawan naɗe-naɗen siyasa na jihar Kano Fulani ne ke rike da su. Su suke rike da su. A duk tarihin Kano, a banda waɗanda sojoji suka tura su, a gwamnatin Kano har yau a demokradiyya dukkansu banda ɗaya duka Fulanuka ne. Ana amfani da addini a matsayin makamin yaudara. Abin da Fulanuka suke yi kenan. Fulani sun sanya kansu a matsayin masu rike da addinin musulunci yayin da suke yin amfani da tsiyayya da siyasa don ci gaba da mulki. Suna amfani da addini. The governor of Kano State is a Fulani man. The past governors, democratically elected governors of Kano State, only one was not a Fulani man. If you go to the profile of Onkoso, he will say he's Hausa Fulani. There is no such thing as Hausa Fulani. There is no tribe called Hausa Fulani anywhere in the world. Babu Kabila and ake kiransu Hausa Fulani a ko ina a duniya. Babu. Doesn't exist anywhere. They put that so that they can take your eyes off the right thing. The governor of Kanu, as we speak, is a Fulani man. Deputy is a Fulani man. The emir of Kanu and other kingship, other chiefs, other leadership, traditional in Kano State today are all Fulanis. Even the one that was created by Ganduje were the all installed Fulani people. So there is no Hausa man who is worthy of becoming king in Kano State anymore. No Hausa man. None of them. The Speaker of the House of Assembly in Kano State is a Fulani man. The majority of the political appointment in the state government of Kano State is occupied by the Fulani man. They use religion. They use religion as a tool of deceit, the tool of dominance. The Fulani people, after the jihad, they instituted a system of leadership that seek to preach Islam, and they use that religion, Islam, as a way to mask their dominance so that they can continue to lead you, and in your mind, who is leading you is your fellow Muslim. But a Hausa man who is a Muslim is not Muslim enough to qualify to be there. Remember, Mazi Jonathan, when Atiku was contesting and some people were saying that Atiku is not a good Fulani. They did not say he's not a good Nigerian. No. They didn't say he's not an honest Nigerian. They say he's not a good Fulani. That means that the qualification, first of all, must be Fulani. They didn't say he's not a good Northerner. He's not a good Fulani. Before later they tell me that he's not a good Muslim. The Fulani people placed themselves after the jihad as the custodian of Islam, while they use that opportunity to emasculate the indigenous Hausa people using politics. Sun sanya da kansu a matsayin masu rike da addinin musulunci yayin da suke yi amfani da shi wannan addinin domin su ci gaba da mulkin Hausawa. Somebody will be asking, why is Biafrans on Radio Biafra that should be concerned about the independence or the emancipation of the Biafran people and the restoration of the sovereignty of Biafra? Why are they preoccupied with the issue of Hausa people? It is because this Radio Biafra was not set up only for the benefit of Biafrans. It is set up as a mouthpiece of all that are subjugated, of all that are going through the oppression of the Fulani elites and the Caliphate. That is why we speak of this, because it is true. It is the truth. And we want every indigenous people to know that what is happening to someone can happen to you.
And Mazi,
the Fulani people.
And Mazi, if I may come in here also, because as you said, some people will be saying, why concern yourself in Biafra, about Biafra? But no, what happens even in the north by the Fulani, it is affecting us directly, because they armed the indigenous people of the north, mostly the Hausa. They armed them with ignorance, or they disarmed them intellectually. So they continue acting on the orders of the Fulani. ignorantly against us, against Biafrans, against Onyamiri, as they call it. Now, one question I want to ask, for people, for the households to even ask themselves, why is it that Gobir was changed by the Fulani to become Sokoto today, and they are comfortable with it? When you watch the history, and that is what is happening today in different parts of the north, coming down to Middle Belt, anywhere they take over, they change the name. It happened. Sokoto is a Fulani name. The original name there was Gobir. When it was deposed of its King Yunfa by Ottoman Danfodio. So these are the things the Hausas or the indigenous people in the north in general should be asking. And when you go to history, Fulani, this has been their modus operandi, because some people, historians say they came from North Africa, some say they came from the Middle East. They are nomads, wanderers. They don't have any place. So the only thing to do is they go and fight and capture land. They don't lose nothing if they die. They don't lose absolutely nothing, because that is the only way of survival. When you study history, you will see right from Futa Toro in Senegal, Bundu, when they established the kingdom of Bundu, down to Futa Jalon in Guinea, to Messina in Mali, coming down now to forming this Sokoto Caliphate. That is exactly how the Fulani has been doing. They go anywhere, they fight. They will take some places. They come with trick. They come as very obedient, peaceful set of people. Oh no, don't worry. No, we just give us a place to stay. Once you give them one space, tomorrow they will be asking for 10 spaces. You give them 1 meter. The next decade they are asking for 1,000 meters. I'm telling you, that is a study history. So you see that what is happening in Nigeria today, the insecurity everywhere, is orchestrated by the Fulani in power. Because according to that meeting, which I read the news, there is a place they said, let me put it. He said the Fulani spread across West Africa are about 20 million, which they exaggerated. Is exaggeration. 20 million. They are not up to, which is some 8 million of them in Nigeria. Look at, even if you go with 8 million, is 8 million 6% of Nigerian population? Do you see where they lie? They lie they lie with everything they have. Is 6 million is 6 million up to 6% of 230 million people? The answer is no. The answer is no. Simple no. You understand? Because 10% is 25 million. Now 5% is 12 million. And they are 6%. They are 6 million. According to what they say here, which is lie. Because they are not up to 3 million in Nigeria. For your information. Now, he said, considered as the only country where their influence in politics and economy is most profound. Remember that this Fulani, the other countries understand them. They know them in Mali, even in Senegal, even Burkina Faso, where else? Gambia, all of them, they know them. So they match them. They match with them, giving them marking. They don't give them any gap at all. It's only in Nigeria that the indigenous people are so lax, so laxy. They relax. They don't understand. So what you are hearing here is history for you to understand, and it is happening in our presence. Which ethnic group are in the bush killing people everywhere in Nigeria? Only Fulani. They are in the north, killing the indigenous people there. They are in the southwest, killing the indigenous people. They occupy the forest. They occupy the forest in southeast, in south, everywhere. Only one set of people. And we are looking at what is happening. No, what is insecurity? Because it is a mission. We are in this generation, and the Fulani, they are doing what they know best how to do. That is occupation, colonization, colonization, and the people are playing politics with it. They gather money. How do you think that they were able to bring the whole Fulani from every country in Nigeria for a meeting? Their representatives. Who sponsored them? It's Nigerian Fulani, because they have the money. Because they own the oil wells, they own the gold reserves, the gold mining of golds and rare earth materials in the north and in middle belt and in the south, everywhere. They control everything. Whereas you as an Igbo man, when you have a small tattery change, you are splashing money as if you are nothing compared to them. Dangote did his birthday anniversary 4 or 5 days ago, a day before Obi Kubana did his own. Now, person even know that Dangote did his own with only few people. Celebrating his birthday. Few people, nothing is nothing, few people. But look at the other one. So this is how the Fulani do. They have very, very sophisticated politics, for your information. And that is why you see this cattle hearing. They call it transhuman. Moving from place to place. They have been fighting to maintain it. I think in the Nigerian Senate, they are debating about anti-grazing law. How many times? They will never allow it, because that is their main weapon of occupation. They always send their forward scout. Their forward scout is the Fulani headsmen. They came, they said, no, we only our cow, study history now, so that this is how they have been conquering places right from 16th century till today. They don't. That's why if you tell them, give them the whole ranches in this world. I mean, didn't Buhari import grass from Brazil? They put them in the best ranches in this world. Give them everything you want. They will say no. They don't like. They don't want, because you are trying to tempt them. You are trying to stop their agenda, and they will never agree. They will say no. It is our culture. We move from place to place. That from place to place is scouting and taking over people's land, causing problems everywhere, and fighting and taking over people's land. Fulani are now in control in Nigeria. Look at what Tinubu told the Plateau State Governor. He read the riot act for him. He gave him marching order. Yeah, do anything to protect your people. He didn't send the military, Nigerian military. He didn't order the state of emergency in Plateau State. But why? Can't Nigerians ask yourself questions now? Will you ask yourself? You don't reason now. You don't reason. Brain that has been occupied by all kinds of superstitious mumbo jumbo, including religion. Why will you reason? Why you can't reason now? You can't think. Everything is now wow, not like that, now wow, God there. We will survive to God there. You don't. Why did you think that a whole president of Nigeria, the commander in chief, he was helpless in the Kanu, Plateau killing, which has been happening? He told him, "I can't do. I beg, do everything you can in order to cop the issue." But in the case of River State, he immediately put a state of emergency. He went on air. But where they are killing people, no way. Why? Because he's more than him, he's above him. I've been saying it here on Radio Biafra. The situation of Fulani in Nigeria is above Tinubu. The only thing that will stop it is the rising up of the people. If it is another thing, he will now immediately put a state of emergency and command Nigerian soldiers there. But he knew that it is above him. Because the people, they are giving him warning. Hey, don't do anything there. He's a president, but he's a figurehead when it comes to issue like this. Are you hearing me? That's why he said, okay, Plateau governor, do anything you can to stop. Is the governor, is he in charge of the military? Is him in charge of the military, for your information? The Plateau State governor, he said, I have been crying. I have been crying since when I see here that they are killing my people in Plateau. He is helpless. The only thing, that is why I'm saying it here without apology. If you don't support as a Biafra, you don't support financially, ESN, IPOB, what we are doing, your name is sorry. Continue market. Now,
Do you know where market is again? And do you know? Support IPOB. Financially support. I'm not begging you. IPOB, we don't beg you. It's obligation. If you don't want to, leave it. Of course, people name a birthday party. Now, Abuja. A time will come. The Fulani, they are on the agenda moving. And it doesn't you feel that it doesn't concern you. The Fulani, they are in charge in Nigeria. Completely in charge. I say, ask yourself again. Why didn't Tinubu give order to the military? So yeah, follow the plateau and stop what is happening. No, he cannot do it because he's above him. I'm telling you. The only solution is for the masses, for the people. Everybody rise up, as Danjuma said, as IPOB we have been shouting, because Nigeria is in the hand of the Fulani. It is the only place where Fulani, where the Fulani influence in politics and economy is most profound. It's written. It's in Nigeria only, no other place. They are running from everywhere because they know them. But you embrace them. You say it doesn't matter. Before you know, in the next 50 years, all your lands are gone. A change the name, a change because that is how they do. They don't stop. Colonizers will never stop. Look at Britain till today. Look at the Europeans till today. They are in charge. Right since 15th century. They have been moving around, killing people all over the world, colonizing people. Till today, have they stopped? They are still in charge. They make sure that little thing you have in your place, they will come to take it, they control it. They will be in control. That is how colonizers work. They will never stop until you rise up and resist them. It doesn't, you sacrifice yourself, you sacrifice everything, you rise up. That is where what they hear. You see, colonizers, either you defeat them or they defeat you and be in control. They don't hear. There is no middle ground with colonizers. I'm telling you. When you study history, you see how colonizers perform. You stop them. You stop them by force. It's not by you stop them anyhow. Otherwise, they don't. There is no middle ground. They say, okay, no victor, no vanquish. As they deceived us, deceived our people. 1970. No victor, no vanquish. China and our people now. Nigeria. Today is worst. Worse. Mazi, please continue. Continue, please.
Thank you, Mazi Jonathan. You spoke about the name Gobir and how they changed the name. Do you know that till today we have people who are from that town and they are known by the name Gobrawa? If you hear the Hausa people refer to somebody as Bagobiri, Bagobiri is an indigenous person of Gobir. These are the people who are predominantly now in the business of digging sewages, wells, and illegal mining as artisans, as people who are paid daily. If you go to Songota, if you go to Sabo in Osun State, you go to other Sabo in other parts of Yoruba land, you will see them early in the morning with buckets, with diggers, with shovels, with pickers. They are standing there looking for who to call them to dig their well, to clear their sewage system. These are the Hausa people. That is what they have been reduced to. If you're an Hausa man and you hear this and something is not triggered in you to ensure that something is done, then you are certainly a bastard. You are not a true son of the Hausa. You cannot be. Gobrawa everywhere. You see them with this kind of mark all over their cheeks. They are the people that are known as Gobrawa. There was the former bishop of Kabanchan, Dan Lami, Joseph Dan Lami. His last name is Bagobiri. Bagobiri is the name of the Gobir people. They are still in existence today, but trust me, they can't even feed themselves. They are those being used for all kind of menial jobs, scattered around Nigeria. scattered around the southwest mostly. You see them traveling with their pickers, with their machete, with their hoes, and just to go and work, cut trees, dig holes, clear the gutters. That's what they do. These are people who were wealthy, traders, who have traded with the people of the Sahel, rich people, people who have one of the biggest empire of that time. Today, you are in a sorry state in the country that you're supposed to call your own, because some people have used religion and phantom unity to distract you. Goburawa ku yam ana kiran ka bagobiri an ce kai bagobiri kai wannan ka manta cewa yau ba wanda ake kiran shi basakwace. Nobody from Sokoto, because Sokoto does not exist. Ba wanda ake kiran shi basakwace. Duk wanda ya ce maka shi basakwace na makareta ne. Makareci ne, babu garin da ake, babu wani kabilan da ake kiran Sokotawa da asalin sunansu Gobir ne, kuma ana kiran mutane wurin Gobirawa. Amma yau, me aikin Gobirawa? Yau su suke tona rijiya, suke kwashe datti, kwashe kashi suke a kasan Yarbawa kamun su samu abinci su ci. Da man planika sun yi amfani da ku, sun tura ku gefe, suka ce damuwanku inyamurai ne, damuwanku yan Biafra ne, mance da mu, Biafra shine damuwanku. Haka suka sa ku. Sun yi amfani da addini da kiyayyan inyamurai. They use Islam, they use religion and the hatred of the Igbo people as a way to distract you while they are taking your patrimony, taking that which belong to you. They say, look, watch. This Igbo man is your problem. They say, watch. We are all Muslims. But yet, in the name of Islam, they do not admit you to the same circle where they enjoy the wealth of Zamfara, the rich gold of Sambisa. No, they created terrorism and they flood the Sambisa forest and they mine and have their own gold reserve. And you are the ones being used to dig the hard soil to get it for them. And when they come and they give you little, you say, Alhamdulillah. They give you tiny plate of food, you say, Rankedede. Allah saka da laheri. And you enjoy that little porridge and you think that is what you deserve. If you think that is what you deserve truly, you are definitely not a Hausa man. Definitely not a Hausa man. You may look for where you come from, but you cannot be an Hausa man. Sun yi amfani da addini da rusar da tunaninku, da rusar da mulkinku, da sarakunanku. Tun daga lokacin Usman Danfodio suka ce, sun ce da duk abin da suke yi musulunci ne. Since from the time of the Usman Danfodio, they told you that whatever they do it in the name of Islam. And that is a lie. Don haka, duk wanda ya ki yarda da mulkin su, kamar yayi adawa da addini ne. Duk wanda ya ki yarda da mulkin su, saboda sun sa mulkin nan a karkashin musulunci ne, sai suka yaudare ku. Suka sa shi a cikin tunaninku, a zuciyanku, cewa idan baka yarda da mulkin Fulanika ba, to kana adawa da addini ne kuma ƙarya ne. They make you feel that their leadership is in the protection of the interests of Islam. And they make you feel guilty in such a way that anybody who seems to disagree with their type and method of leadership will feel as if he or she is rebelling against the religion. They make their leadership, their dominance synonymous with Islam, with religion so that you cannot rebel. When you want to even think, you feel that, oh, leadership comes from God. Leadership comes from God. Leadership comes from Allah. And as such, anybody that leads you, as long as it's from Allah, which is, in quote, a Muslim, you must support him. Whatever he does, you cannot criticize him. If you criticize him, you are a rebel. You have rebelled against the religion. That is what they did to you. Kar ka samu dama ka ce, malam ya wannan, ya aka yi da haka, ai wannan ba daidai bane, ai na idan ka yi haka, to kai dan adawa ne, kana adawa da musulunci ne, ba da fulanuka ba. Asali idan ma za a yi maganar musulunci ma wane ne ba fulatani a musulunci a Najeriya, a arewacin Najeriya, yaushe ba fulatani ma ya zama musulmi. If we should even talk about Islam, when did a Fulani man become a Muslim? Fulanuka masu bauta wa gumaka ne na asali. Before even a Fulani man will come in contact with the Muslims, with Islam, a Hausa man has already encountered Islam and has even accepted a tiny part of it before they came and they dominate. They tell you jihad is about Islam. It's not about Islam. Jihad is simply about the dominance of the Fulani race. But they use Islam, to be able to close your eyes so that when they place themselves as the custodian of the religion, you will not question them. And anybody who dare to challenge them becomes a rebel. Sun kafa tsari inda suke amfani da malamai na addini don su ci gaba da mulkinku. Sun fidda tunaninku daga mamayar da ku. Daga mamayar da ku da suka yi. Suna mai da hankali kanku. Suna mai da hankalinku daga abubuwa da ba su da mahimmanci. Sun sanya ku zama masu bid addini da yawa, amma ba ku damu da yadda suke ciye kasarku, yadda suke cinye mulkinku, yadda suke ci gaba da zama masu mulkinku, duk da cewa ku ne mafi yawa a arewacin Najeriya, a kasar Kano. Addini ne ya zama makami da suka amfani da shi don kawar da hankalinku daga gaskiya. They put a system and use your Islamic scholars to confuse you, to continue to lead you, to take your mind off their emasculation, to take your mind off that which is important. And they made you religious zombies. They point you to an imaginary enemy so that they can continue to milk you, to take your patrimony, to take your land, to take your mind off what they are doing.
Mazi, and these people, right, they are champions in these mantras. One Nigeria. Nigeria unity is not negotiable. Democracy is a game of numbers. These are some of their main mantras which they champion in Nigeria. Whereas this is a deception. Because what is the meaning of one Nigeria when they tactically divide the Igbo race, for example? Boke? There is this tribe in the Babangida tribe in Niger State. They divided them into whether 4 or 6 estates without being together. They divide you. So does the one Nigeria mean divided people but under one Fulani hegemony? That is because they are going on divide and conquer, divide and rule. So as I said, you see that Fulani is the only tribe that had a has a standing army which is independent of any country. Why is it so? So the Fulani deception of democracy as game of numbers, while they are the minority in the north, but they are in most elected high-ranking positions in the north, which I've read some in the north. I mean, as governors. I hear it. So why do they always say it's a game of numbers? But they are very minute minority, even in the north. Now, why do they occupy the whole governorship position, political high-ranking position, political position? Is it democracy then? Is that democracy? The Hausas should rise up and understand the games of these people. Why they are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is because he put sand in their gari. He stopped their agenda by opening people's eyes on their reality. Because I'm telling you, when you take your time to study the history of Fulani conquest and jihadism, because Fulani is a tribe that brought Islamic jihadism in West Africa. Before the advent of the Fulani, there was nothing like jihadism or Islamic jihadism. They brought it, this extremism, and they are still going till today. That is why Mali is pursuing them. That is why they have this policy of bringing the whole Fulanese in Nigeria. They are not hiding it. They said it openly on national television, and they defend them because other people, other tribes in Africa, they understand them. Only Nigerian indigenous people. That's why I used to call our indigenous populations very stupid, ignorant, foolish set of people because they understand nothing. What is going on today? I'm telling you, if it continues like that in the next 50 years, after many of us must have gone in the next 100 years, I'm telling you, there will be demographic changes. You will see that the places in Enugu, in Imo, in parts of Biafra land will be occupied by Fulani. They will start telling you that they are indigenous people. They speak Igbo even. That is where they are heading to. So it is high time for the Hausa people to rise up. Stop allowing them to use you to do their bidding. They are using you. They use through one. They will say one Nigeria, number one. That is the common for every indigenous population. Now, when they come to the north, they will say, we Northerners. So that they incorporate both Christians, so non-Fulani or non-Muslims, so they incorporate everybody. Say, we Northerners, we Arewa. Now, when they also deem fit, they will use we Muslims. These are takia, deception. That is why I say these people are smart. They are smart. They put the indigenous population of Nigeria in a very difficult position. They continue pumping Igbo hatred. Igbo hatred. No, the problem is the Igbo. Is the Igbo. Look at the people that are yapping, Peter Obi presidency. Oh, because he's supporting Biafra. They use all these things to make the indigenous people to support them, to be with them, the same way they use Gowon. Today, Gowon's village is being run over. Danjuma village is being run over in Taraba State. Gowon, his own, is being run over in Plateau State, everywhere, by the same Fulani that use him on now. They know how to use you. They know how to use you. And after they dump you, before you know it is too late. You will not even understand what happened. It's too late. They have taken everywhere. That is why Gowon is keeping quiet. He can no longer talk because he is the real person, real tool used by the Fulani. So it's too late. He can no longer rewind the clock. That time they say, oh, we Northerners, he killed Ahmad Bello. See if Ahmad Bello is his father. What concern him, concern Ahmad? They say, we Northerners, he killed the Northerners. Even to the extent they rallied even the Yorubas that supposed to remove themselves. They rallied them. Oh, under one Nigeria. Oh, these people kill one Nigeria. Oh, one Nigeria. We have to one Nigeria. And they rally them, isolate Igbos. Because they know Igbo is the only tribe that is capable of halting, mobilizing as we are doing, and halting what they are doing. Today, here on Radio Biafra, we are resisting, fighting back, opening people's eyes, including the houses and all others to whom it may concern. If you want to continue your zombism, continue. When they say they use Islam, oh yeah, Islam Muslims. How, how many Muslims are fighting like you in Ghana? How many Muslims are like you are fighting with them in other countries like in Guinea? Are they not? Don't they have Muslim population? It's only Fulani that put problems. Mazi, please continue and you round off so that we can open the lines, please. There we go.
Yeah, sir. Like you said that Tinubu is not in control. You remember the woman that you play her voice some time ago, Hajia Najaatu, who flew to London to meet Tinubu before the campaign and asked him, what do you have for the North? What is your blueprint? Tinubu told her he does not have blueprint. Don't you have any plan for the insecurity in the North? He said, no, if I have any blueprint, they will even kill me before I get there. Who are those they? Who are the they?
That is Mazi, that is the question Nigerians don't ask. Who are they? They. Even Mazi, sorry, before you continue to round it up, please. Even this what is his name? That Olawumi, the high-ranking military spy chief, that opened up that the problem of insecurity in Nigeria is religion. He said we used to play it here on Radio Biafra. It's on YouTube every day. He said that is the problem. There are people that are in control that wants this country Islamized and Fulanized. He said it. Now Nigerians don't rise and say, who are they? They. Those people that Tinubu said they will kill me if I write my blueprint. People don't ask, who are they? Who are those people? Mazi, go on, please.
The like one somebody said, in this case, Nigerians, the only warning they take seriously is low battery. Any other warning means nothing to them. Somebody at his levels made that kind of statement, and there is no uproar. There is no reaction. That is why they keep doing what they are doing, because they know the people will never, ever, ever react. A lokacin mulkin mallaka, colonial era, 'yan Birtaniya suka amfani da abin da suka kiran shi divide and rule, inda suka sanya arewacin Najeriya da kudancin Najeriya suka zama abokan gaba. Bayan samun yancin kasa, Fulanika suka ci gaba da wannan dabarar. The Fulani people working with the same template as the British to divide and rule. And yet, they want to claim a united North. Only because by doing so, they can use the guise of a religion to emasculate the people, and they will be able to say nothing. When Bello Turuji were killing people in the North, who was he killing? He was killing the indigenous people. Later, the government say, come and sit down, let's analyze, let's settle this thing. Where have you seen any attack by which Fulani people were being killed in the bushes? No. The Hausa people, you may call the Fulani people cowards for coming in the night, unleashing mayhem and running away. However cowardice that look like, it is giving them their results. Their objective is not to be praised as the most bravest of people.
It is their tactics. Is their tactics.
Their tactic is that you should not exist. However they do it, they do not care. Be brave. Go in the afternoon. Show your face. That is your problem. At the end of the day, their tactic is giving them results, and they will continue to use it. Use the same tactic as them. Whatever tactic you are going to use, however cowardice it will look, use it. If you have to poison the water where they feed their cow, do it, as long as you don't drink from it. If you are going to poison their food, do it. Anything, if you're going to go at night, do it. The only person that is worthy to live is the one who wish you the same. Anybody who wish you death and you wish him same is not a sin. Sun sanya ku cewan inyamurai abokan gabanku ne, yayin da suke ci gaba da maimaye da sarakunanku a hankali, gradually they said you, the Igbo people, are your problem, but they are emasculating your kingship, your leadership, everything. On the notes ending, as we try to end, yanzu da muna zuwa ga ƙarshen wannan ziyaran da muke yi yau, ina kira ‘yan uwanmu Hausawa, idan na ce ‘yan uwanmu ba da ni Bahaushe ba ne, amma mu ‘yan uwa ne da mu dukanmu ake cin amananmu. Amma Fulanuka suna so su ɓata sunanku Hausawa, idan kuka yi shiru za su ɓata sunanku. Yanzu yawancin mutanen da ke a kudancin Najeriya ba su san bambancin Fulani da Hausawa ba, ba laifinsu ba ne. Da mun ko Hausawa yawancinku ba ku fita, ba ku tashi ku nuna bambancinku ba. Aka ce zama da madaukin kanwa ke kawo farin kai. Many people in the South cannot even differentiate the Fulani and the Hausa, and it's not their fault. It is the fault of you, the Hausa people. You have refused to stand up and show that you are different. And this night, I hope that something within you that will give you that braveness of the Hausa people that we know, that I know, will be able to push you to begin to stand and differentiate yourself from the terrorist tribe. Kutashi, Hausawa kutashi. Kutashi, ku farka a bacci, ku farka daga bacci, ku farka daga bacci, ku samu yancin kanku a ƙasar Najeriya, a arewacin Najeriya. Kar Fulanuka su kwace kasanku da ya rage a gamar da ku. Yanzu suna a Plateau, gobe Taraba ne, jibi Bauchi ko Kaduna. Suna kan Kaduna suna kashe mutane. Yan uwansu kuma suna tsare da su. Suna ba su tsaro, suna ba su sojoji, suna ba su kuɗi, suna ba su abinci. Ko lokacin da ana COVID, ana cikin COVID, masu sana'a ba su fita, ma'aikata ba su fita, amma an samu jirgin sama na zuwa cikin daji, ana ba su abinci, ana ba su makamai, ana ba su magani. Duka ba a ɓoyewa, a yi bidiyo a kawo shi a wuce a nuna muku da mun rainin wayo da suke da shi a kanku. An raina muku wayo, an raina ma kowa wayo. Daga baya sai a ce muku, ai wannan faɗan musulunci ne, wannan jihadi ne. Amma a bayan faɗan, ai idan muka je faɗa, idan duka muka je faɗa, idan muka samu abu a faɗan, muka ci gado a faɗan, ya kamata an aka dawo a raba daidai. Amma ku yi faɗan jihadi a sunan musulunci, sai idan aka dawo a raba gado ba a baku. Wannan ba yaudara ba ne? In every war, if we fight together and we are able to come back with any property, we are supposed to share it together because we fought together. But they will fight with you in the name of Islam. They fight with you, they tell you it's a jihad. When they occupy the land, they kick you out and they lead you. Can't you see you are being used? They call on you. Come, let's kill them. They are Igbo people. They are Inyamrei. They are Arne. Arne and Kafirai are Kesesu. Let's kill them. They are infidels. when everything is said and done, they occupy the land and then they take the leadership and you continue begging. I hope this evening awakes something in you. Ku haɗa kai Hausawa, ku haɗa kai. Ku haɗa kai. Ku taɓa tsarin da zai sake ba ku sarautar Hausawa na gaske. Ku haɗa kai. Lokacin da kowa yin nashi ya wuce. Idan ba ku haɗa kai ba Hausa, Fulanika za su gama da ku da sauranku. Komai ya nuna cewa sun riga da sun yi ada kuma suna kan yi kuma ba za su daina yi ba sai dai kun tsayar da su. Sannunku da sauraron. Assalamu alaikum.
There we go. Thank you very much. And we are going to go into a few minutes break so that when we come back, we will open the lines. I hope that you are learning something from Radio Biafra, including you Hausas, because the danger is real. History is repeating itself. History is repeating. The Fulani conquest in West Africa is continuing in Nigeria. So, stop being a tool in their hand. They say, "How come we are all Muslims? Let us go and deal with the army," and you foolishly follow them. Do you know why you follow them? Because they program you to be so right from childhood. They made you to be Almajiri. Say you are studying, you are learning Arab. They useless your life as a child right from childhood, as an Hausa child. They make sure you don't partake in any education, and they push you as a child, carry all of you, put you into the control of the Fulani Marabu, to brainwash you, to make you feel inferior. That is why, let me tell you, any conquest without religious imposition is not complete. That is it. Any colonization without religious colonization is not complete, because religion is a mental tool being used by the colonizers to to make sure that they tie you mentally, so that even if they leave you, you are not running again. You are okay, I don't know how to explain it. You yourself, you offer your service, you offer yourself wholeheartedly to them, because they have colonized you mentally. That is the reason why the Fulani, after colonizing, physically conquering the houses, they say no. You don't give them no education, no other education, except the education that the imams, the afars will be given to them. So once Hausa children are born, they will take them, say, use religion, say you have to surrender it to you to go and study Quran. And they carry them, surrender them to the Fulani Alpha, to brainwash them, to make them understand that, look, that they should be obedient people, obedient children to their emirs, and the emirs are Fulani, to their government, to the Fulani, because they are the people that brought them God. That is the brainwashing, and that is why they can use them at will. In any riot, anything, after prayer is when they come out, they pump them there. Oh, go and kill Onyamini, and you using religious sentiment, because they own you mentally, they own you. That is why religion is dangerous. It's a weapon, it's a tool in the hands of the colonizers. That is it. So emancipate yourself from mental slavery. As Bob Marley says, I'm talking to the Hausas, to the Northerners. When they want the Fulani, they use you like food, they play you like football.
They use you, oh, we are Northerners. If at their convenience, they tell you, oh, oh, we are Muslims, and you follow them. But when they got what they want, now they sideline you, they rule over you, subjugate you, and be on top. Who is the Mugu? We are going to go into a few minutes break so that when we come back, the lines will be open so that people can call in. If you are, even if you are an Hausa person, please feel free to call. If you are any northern tribe, feel free. Radio Biafra is for everybody. Feel free to call in, either to ask question or to say something in your heart. This is Radio Biafra. We will be right back. Please do not go away. We'll be right back.
Na san mutumin da yake noma shinkafa tirilla 4-5 sai iya baka kyauta iya baka miliyan 2 kyauta. Yau in ka bashi kwanan shinkafa ɗaya sai ya fashe da kuka. An ƙone abincinsa, an ƙona gidansa, an yi garkuwa da shi, an bada miliyan 50. Mutumin nan yanzu da kyar ike samun kuɗi ibiya haya. Da kwa ka je gurin sai ɗauki miliyan 2 baka kyauta. Yana noma alkama, yana noma shinkafa, yana noman rani, mutum ne mai kuɗi, amma yau a gidan haya ike. Fulani sun tsiyata shi. Sun tsiyata shi? Duk waɗanda kuke gani, yaran nan a titi ana almajirai, yawancin iyayensu duk an kashe su tun kafin ma wannan ta'addancin. Sa'adu sarkin Fulani Sokoto yana da wani aiki nasa da ike kashewa Hausawa ta ƙarƙashin ƙasa, a kashe Hausa ƴaƴan kuma hana su ilimi don su zama jahilai, da in zaɓe ya zo a zaɓe su ci gaba da mulki. Ubanku za ku ci. Fulani ubanku za ku ci. Arnan arewan da kuke cewa kar a zaɓe su, ni Kaltum Alin Bajitami, ni zan je tsakiyar Middle Belt in ɗauko wanda zai shugabancin ƙasar nan don ubanku. Ni zan je ƙasar Ibo in ɗauko ɗan Ibo in shugabancin ƙasar nan don ubanku. Kiristoci yanzu idan Baba Bola Ahmed ya gama, Kirista ne zai shugabancin ƙasar nan don ubanku, ko ku so ko kar ku so. Kuma mu Hausawa musulmi, mu ne za mu yi wannan aikin, ba wani ne zai wannan aikin ba. Mu za mu ɗauko wannan Kiristan mu ce kai za ka yi wannan shugabancin, ko mu za mu yi masa campaign. Addininmu, mai manzo ikoya mana a lokacin da bala'i ya bala'i, masifa ta masifa, me ya faru? Manzon Allah tura Essa da iya haifa gurin sarkin Habasha Kirista. Yace ku tafi gurinsa, azhab ila al-Habasha inda malikin adil lam yadhlim indahu ahda. Kaji abin da manzo faɗa. Wannan shine musulunci. Yace ku tafi ƙasar Habasha, suna da sarki mai adalci, ba a zaluntar kowa a gurinsa. To dan ubanku a ina kuka ɗauko mana wai Najeriya ta musulmi ce, kar a bar Kirista a shugabanci ƙasar nan? Ubanku ya ci uwatar. Ni ƴar malamai, kakan ubana shehin malami ne, kakana shehin malami ne, ubana shehin malami ne. A yanzu a gidanmu akwai limamai guda 5 tsaf, amma ni ce zan jagorancin ɗauko Kirista a ƙasar nan shugabanci Najeriya. Sai dai ku mutu, domin ku korar ku ma za a yi. Ba ku da komai a Najeriya, ku ba 'yan ƙasa ba ne. Hausawa musulmi, ina godiya goyon bayan da kuke bani in na faɗi maganar nan, ku ta cewa Hajiya haka muke so. Ku kuma ku sani Kiristoci, wannan magana da kuke ji, manya-manyan Hausawa mahaddatan Qur'ani masu shekaru su suke ɗaure mini gindi. Idan na faɗa ce kin yi haka yayi, za mu ɗaure miki gindi. Zaratan Hausawa mahaddatan Qur'ani in suka ji wannan magana na ce Kirista zai shugabanci, ce suke ce min well done Hajiya. Don ku sani ni ina da ɗaurin gindi a gurin ƴan uwana musulmi, ina da ɗaurin gindi a gurin ƴan uwana Kirista, ina da ɗaurin gindi a gurin ƴan uwana ƴan gargajiya. Ni ƴan leleci. Addinan na uku kowa yana supporting abin da nake faɗa. Domin ina so a haɗa ƙasar ne a zaman lafiya. Waɗannan ƴan middle belt su ba ƴan ƙasa ba ne? Ku dan ubanku kakan shugabanci, bare su indigenous. Su ne ƴan uwanmu. Buhari ya shekara 8, musulmi ne. Yanzu Baba Bola Ahmed Tinubu zai shekara 8, musulmi ne. Ko da ke kuna ce ai kafiri ne, arne ne, matarsa arniya ce, wani tsinan ne ma ce wa jininta ya halatta. Dan mutsiyaciya. and shi Kirista jininsa ko da ke ko Allah tuba ai ba ku bar kowa ba ma musulmin kun basu ne ba ga musulmi kuna iban mata ku kai masallaci ku yi fade ku dafa dan jinjirin musulmin ku ce musulmin su ci ku ebi ƴaƴan jinjirin ku zubawa kan dukkan ku na fulani su ci ku ai ba ku da addini ko kuma wallahi kristoci ku zama masu hankali musulmi ku zama masu hankali kuma daina zama shashashu ane mana wasa ana gwara kanmu muna fada ku ƴan uwanmu ne ku abokanan zaman mu ne ku duba ku ga Saudiya ba kasar musulunci bace ku ga Dubai ba kasar musulunci bace ku ga Turkiya ba kasar musulunci bace ku ga Malaysia ba kasar musulunci bace ku ga Maldives ba kasar musulunci bace ku ga wannan Brunei ba kasar musulunci bace Indonesia wacce tafi kowa yawan al'ummar musulmi a duniya ba wanda yake faɗa da wani musulmi suna sha'aninsu kiristoci suna sha'aninsu buda suna sha'aninsu yan gargajiya suna sha'aninsu idan al'amura kaga suna abun adagwanin ban sha'awa to Najeriya haka zamu mayar da ita photocopy din kasashen musulmi da kasashen kiristoci da suke zaune a cikin liberty zami a ƙasar turai zaka iya masallaci ba mai hana ka a Italiya akwai masallaci ba a hana to mu ma a Najeriya kofi din kasar musulmi da kasar kiristoci da suke zaune a cikin liberty si kowa ake addini ake kaunar juna ake gina ƙasa to mu ma abin da zamu kenan a ƙasar nan Hausawa Ibo ba miƙiyan mu bane Yarbawa ba miƙiyan mu bane domin zance ne na Ibo kun ji abin da ya faɗa akwai kabilanci
dan ya mutu ba yace gwamnati ne ba za ta yadda a ci gaba da ba yan ta'adda kuɗi ba don wasu gwamnoni na amfani da maganar sulhu suna ba yan ta'adda kuɗi to matsalar da mun ka samu akwai manya da sun ka samu mukamai ga gwamnatin tarayya wanda wallahi ko kaso ko ka kaso akwai kabilanci cikin waɗanda aka yi da ta'addanci Najeriya wasu sun yi tsaye ba za a yaƙi yan uwansu ba to ku faɗa musu su bar kashe yan uwanmu na ji kwanan baya kungiyar mu yace Allah ta ce ayi zama da ita ta ba da wata kaza ta'addanci zai zan tarihi Najeriya don Allah kuna da sai ga harkar yan ta'adda kun ka bari suna kashe mu ba ku yi musu magana sai an yi zama da ku sannan in
da kyau yanzu ya ga shehin malami nan Bahaushe wannan dan uwan mu ne Bahaushe shehin malami yayi bayani dalla dalla ko me yadda ko kar me yadda akwai kabilanci kuma gashi nan wanda suke daura gindin kisan nan miyar ta Allah ce wai shugaban miyar ta Allah wannan shedan dan iska shetan of Sokoto wanda ake cewa sultan of Sokoto ku ce shedan of Sokoto dan ta'adda fasiki mizinaci dan giya dan shaye-shaye makaryatan banza maci da sunan addinin musulunci na fi ku sanin addinin musulunci dan ubanku na fi ku ilimin addinin musulunci na fi ku sanin tarihin musulunci ai na kalubalance ku fito duk wani malami da kuke tunkaho da shi ku fito min da shi yazo in sa shi a gaba he na ci gyaran sa a musulunci in ana gadar musulunci na gaje shi ku kawo min aya daya da ta kawo tace a zo ai ka zubar da jini ai ka zubar da jinin wanda basu je basu gani ba ko kuma Hausawa tsaya ku ji dan Fulani
na fani Bahaushe duk abun da ake musu Allah ya ƙara
kun ji ko to wannan ba Fulatani ne Hausawan da suke kasar Ibo nake so ne magana to tsaya mu je mu ji dan Iba shi kuma me zai ce akan kabilar Hausa mun ji dai ba Fulatani ga abin da ya faɗa to gashi dan Iba kuma mu ji abin da ya faɗa
this comment. Stop saying this thing. A lot of people have been saying this thing. Igbo people don't hate Hausa. We love Hausa. Now only Fulani, we don't want to use here. The only Fulani we hate. We don't like Fulani. We don't like them. Hausa people are the best, most loving people in this Nigeria. I grew up in North. They know they know if you eat food, see you, they're hungry. They are the best loving, sharing people in this Nigeria. So we love them. Igbo people love Hausa. Stop saying we don't love Hausa. What kind of nonsense comment is this? And a lot of people have been saying this to some people. Don't say that. The only Fulani we don't like. We don't want to use here Fulani.
Kyau. Hausawa mu da kuke kasar Ibo wannan dan Ibo ne. Kun ji abin da yake faɗa? Su Fulani ne wanda ba sa so. So nake ku kwantar min da hankalinku So nake ku kwantar min da hankalinku, ku nutsu, ku san ciwon kanku. To ku zo ku je Yarabawa su kuma abin da suka ce. Da Sunday Ogoho ta'addanci ya ta'addanci, wa ikora Hausawa ko Fulani? Tsaya mu ji.
Zo ya ci gaba da sheke ai sai ci gaba da iskancinsa na wancan
Kai ne
kokari da
dan
yake
iska.
na ta'addanci da
Kai ne
yake
dan ta'adda.
su ma sai an musu kasansu da wani Yarabawa.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Alo province of Biafra London. I'm here with our Mazi Obasi. We are on today's program of enlightenment to the indigenous people of the north, mostly the Hausas, on the deception or concerning the deception, the Fulani deception, how they are deceiving everybody using the indigenous people. They carry everybody, dribble, and they are on top. That is what we are exposing. That is the thing. Because you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Nigeria is riddled with Fulani terrorism everywhere. What other people in other countries are trying to, to chase away. They are fighting them in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in even Niger. But Nigeria, they are welcoming them. Why? Because they infiltrated the houses. They hide under the mantle of the House of the North, of Islam, of Ariwa, in order to use the indigenous people and do their biddings for them to be on top. Our lines are now open. Our WhatsApp and a signal line remains +61 405 142 547. I repeat, +61 405 142 547. I have callers already lining up. I have the first caller on WhatsApp. If you are an Hausa, please, you want to call, please. Caller on WhatsApp, you are the first caller. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mazi Jonathan. Good evening, sir.
There, we do the reggae.
They won lovers of freedom and all the children of Biafra worldwide. Mazi Dalurine, today's program is very beautiful and nice expository. My kudos and my greetings to that our brother who educated us in Hausa language. I wish I listened to everything. I wish I hear and understand the language, but I believe it's very rich. Mazi Obasi, ndewo, sir. Biko, my speech is very little. Mazi Jonathan, I was prompted to call you because of there's a word he used. He said, colonizers don't stop until you stop them. A clear case in study is Burkina Faso. When that young man took over power, cut off France, that is when their country had a breath of fresh air. There's a war currently going on in Nigeria. Many people don't know it. Until indigenous people stand up to stop these marauders, they will continue their conquest. And Mazi, I've heard the word "they" so many times. They, even Tinubu say they will kill me. Even the woman that flew to London say, who are the they? The question, who are the they? The they is the country where Tinubu is romancing with now. British colonized Nigeria, but Tinubu has found new love in Paris. The same hand that held the Sahel countries for decades, they are the one holding Nigeria to ransom right now. So nobody should ask who are the word they. We are in deep mess, messier than what we knew before. Now, if you watch the recent video of Sultan of Sokoto, Sultan of terrorism that has been flying all over the place, he says social media is terrorists. So they love to use that word terrorists. And now social media has been a tool to expose their evil. Hausas are waking up through social media and they are disturbed. The way they branded IPOB terrorists, they think that calling some people or a group terrorists is the end of the people. Is the end of the people. They called IPOB terrorists. We are still waxing. Now they are calling the whole social media terrorists. Yeah, let them go call Mark Zuckerberg terrorists. So, Mazi, what I'm trying to say is the whole indigenous people need to stand and rise up and stop these marauders. Remember the Kunle, the Yoruba man, the security agent that revealed the first, that said that Boko Haram is in government. He made another revelation, Mazi. I tagged you in that video, but I didn't save it. He said that the only way is to divide Nigeria now. The current DSS boss said indigenous people should arm themselves and defend themselves. So anybody who is listening to my voice should be praying for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, should give kudos to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for establishing ESN. Because without ESN, Alibo would have been a deserted area by now. I still pray that our people will listen and stop lavishing money, stop doing audio billionaires. They should support ESN secretly. If you cannot come out open, support ESN secretly. Even our governors, our senators, our House of Reps, let everybody make their own widow's mite support to ESN because they are the last line of defense. Mazi, Dalusa, thank you so much for this wonderful program
thank you
today.
very much. Of course, the problem is above Tinubu. Even that high-ranking Yoruba high-ranking military spy, he said it. They asked him, the interviewer asked him, the journalist asked him in that tape, what do you think is the solution for the Nigerian government, for the president to do this? He said, no, this is above the president. It's not the government only, the people. Anywhere, he said, it is for the people to rise up. Look at the attack on the NDA, Nigerian Defense Academy, where many were killed. Do you have any result? They said the investigation, this and that. What happened? All gone because the Fulani is on the rampage. What we are reading in history is happening in our presence, and the people are doing nothing about it. IPOB is here shouting. Radio Biafra is talking every day, and the people are, relaxed, doing nothing about it. It's a very big shame. Caller on signal. Can you hear me? Welcome to the program. Caller on signal, please go on. Once again, caller on signal. Can you hear me? Caller on signal, please. Go on, please. No need of wasting time. Go on, please.
My brother, Mazi, I want to tell every one of us, both the callers and the presenters, anyone that finds himself in this very hallowed platform and wants to propel this gospel, be doing it as if your life depends on it. Do it as if you might not even have another chance to say it. That's my brother in the studio, which I say, may Elohim bless him. And the person that called before now say he's not hearing what he said. Me, I'm not hearing Hausa, but I understand. I don't need to hear the language. Everything he speaks in Hausa, it's echoed into my brain, even if I did not hear it. That is the force behind this very this thing. And with, I want to say that if you go to a home, a house which is not your house, you will definitely observe even what the house owners have not been observing. That is how the Fulanis has been. Anywhere they are never indigenous to that very place. That is why, no matter how few they are, they will be able to subjugate everybody there. Because you will be there as the owner, thinking that everything is so, is enough for you. Why them themselves will be making use of the vital leakage within you, seeing the loopholes, the differences, the enmities within you, and you'll be using it, which since the inception of the adventures of the Fulanis in Nigeria. Since then, whose tribe have they not been able to conquer except the Igbos, which they have lured other tribes against till this very day? So I would never blame the Fulanis. Rather, I would blame the ethnic nationalities that have been in this very place fighting over crumbs, fighting over irrelevant things. Just like you said, the issue is above Tunumbu. Okay, as an individual, he knows that the issue is above him, but he is there, only being a walk, and he's chasing rats. Any day they get away from him, they will now deal with his own people. And they will never make that mistake in order to allow any other of his own kind of person to come to that very place to elevate them. So we intentionally drag our own persons, our own people into doom, just as Zeke did in his own time. Did Zeke not know that the Fulanis were? He was an educated person, but he was clouded with his own personal. He wants to be a president of in a big continent. He wants even Africa to be under one rulership. But he has not been able to settle his own where he's come from. But our people doesn't. Okay, you are saying this thing. What about this so-called hope also, the man, the rest of them? They all know that these two things they are even more informed than me and you. But they believe that then tomorrow, if you Fulani out of what they did, what they are doing, be able to conquer that very territory, tell me that the indigenous people are white. And I will use this same opportunity to talk because just as the Christians, especially in the Karagataro Confirma, that goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If they are there, they are preaching something that even concerns them. They take it as it is undo. If you are in this very struggle and you're thinking that the Fulani is conquered, they are using Islam to, the same thing goes to you if you have not been able to take away yourselves from these same religious sentiments and all of those things. Because you are the Hausas are tools in the hands of the Fulanis when it comes to religion and tribe and ethnicity, not and all of these things. You yourself, you are also a tools in the hands of the Western world or anybody that wants to use it, even the Fulanis. Because before now, we have been crying, thinking that one Western world that is a Christian culture, America or whatever, will come out. Did they talk to us? If it's not the DSS, the DOS that have opened our eye through this very radio Biafra and educated us properly. I remember when I called a blue flag in the bar, that is why this very radio is very, very essential. Not just only the hours. At the time you're talking to the hours, look into yourself and see how these things have been affecting you. So we can never shy away from this very thing. And another part that I want to talk about is that how have we not been able to reorganize ourselves, come together and elevate take ourselves from these very shackles? But this little fun and anyway they don't mind their differences. They don't mind anything. Have you ever, okay, what will you say that is the differences within the houses? What is the one thing that you can see with Kiji with the So there are some certain things when you look at it, it's not that it's not there, but they can never show it to you. They can never drag it out because the ultimate goal is to conquer every territory. Every other thing goes silent. Mazi, just bless you, and I say, bless the DOS, which man and kind of have left this very struggle. If it's not them, Mazi would have been everything would have been scattered. Them that have been here, Chukukama will guide them, give them the fortitude, give them the knowledge, every virtue they need. We are here, we are not going anywhere. Let them not think that people are not here. Let them not think that we are not beside them. We are doing everything we can. This is the last thing I have found my purpose on earth. Thank you so much.
There were Mazi. The Sultan of Sokoto, he said social media is a terrorist institution. Therefore, social media users should be labeled as terrorists. Biafrans, it is now we are going our prowess. Now, we continue sending the missile. That is the thing. That is who we are. Caller or is it WhatsApp? Mazi, can you hear me? Call on WhatsApp.
Mazi Onyemuche.
Okay, good evening, sir.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm not in sir. Good
There
evening,
we
sir.
go. Go on. There we go.
Yeah. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Ekenengi, Ogadregi maybe Director of State, my regards to you all. Mazi Ogadregi ma. Please, I want to know before I go on, has Uncle gone out? Yeah, Mazi Obas, has it gone out?
He's here. He's here. He's listening.
Okay, thank
He's listening to you.
Okay, fine. You know, one thing is this, sometimes when you engage most of our Efulefu down here in Biafra land in conversation, let me not use the word argument, about some certain information, they will tell you you're running a propaganda. So I just want to stand on the part of those people, those Efulefu, to ask the question I want to ask, because early last month, I was in Abia State, Enyimba, trying to hustle as a Gwaja worker they do. So I come across a brother, and the guy at the end of everything, you know what he told me? He said anybody can put anything in the encyclopedia, as in the Wikipedia, you know, Google and all that. The thing got me angry. I hold myself and I walk out. Do you understand? So now this night, this our uncle now, Uncle Obasi, came up to narrate a lot of things about the houses. And the point I'm trying to pick up against us, but in the other hand, to stand for those idiots who will be listening but will not be proud to come up and ask questions is this. Sir, I don't know, has he spent his time, did he go to school in Northern States? Because I see him speaking fluently with Hausa. Did he stay there when he was growing up, or he just read their books and began to speak Hausa? I want to know. Then, secondly, my question is this: looking at the whole thing about taking out the, disenfranchising the Hausa traditional rulers by the Fulanis to take over and all that, is it written? Is it something that has to do with, their educational history? Like if you come to in the East here, all the things they did to us during the 1966, 67, 68 war is not being displayed or maybe inclusive in our curriculum of education this way. Now, I'm asking, is it the same way over there that they have been, pushed away from their educational histories? Or is it inclusive? Because why I'm asking this, if it's inclusive in their own educational background, and they kept akimbo like us, who our own is not inclusive, it simply means I will now associate every other person to be an illiterate. Because if this message he rendered to us here clearly is written in their educational curriculum, you go to school, you get admission, and you begin to read from primary, nursery school, and
Mazi,
get the understanding that
let me just
our
be there. Let me, before Mazi Obasi
okay.
comes in,
Okay.
let me answer some part of like this one you're talking about, Mazi.
Yeah.
When you conquer a people, the conqueror writes the history the way he wants it, in order for the conquered people to be reading it. That is the thing. Like, for example, let me say, in our own case, everybody knows that Britain colonized us. You see the result in our lives, daily lives. That is number one. We speak English. That is number one. Even if it doesn't matter, there is no way you can phase it out, because that is the primary. Everybody knows that is it. So now the only thing is this: what the colonizers or conquerors do, what they normally do, they make sure to conquer you mentally. Mental conquest is the worst. They came, they killed us, they raped our women, they committed genocides against us. Now they brainwash us to
believe that, look, what they did is necessary for us. They developed us. After all, it's them that brought development. Is manifesting is like that. Because without it, you will rise up, and you will always revenge against them. But the permanent conquest is to that brainwashing, that mental conquest, to make you accept that, oh, these people did good thing to us. That is the education. They bring that education. The Fulani did the same thing to the Hausas. That is why they have Amajiris that are studying under the Fulani imams and alphas. Are you hearing me? The same way they brainwash us into knowing, accepting that, look, without the British, we wouldn't have, without British invasion, without British killing, without the European coming to our land, that we would have been backwards. We would have, it's brainwashing. Without them, we are nothing. Our people still accept it today. And they also achieve this through religion. That is why I say any colonization without mental colonization, which goes through religion, is not complete. It's never complete. Today, who is the saint if we come to our land? Who do we refer to as saint? Peter. Who do we refer to as saints? James. The colonizers, their names, they are saints. That's why we have Wedra Road in Owerri. People that committed genocides. That is why we have Douglas Road named on the name of, in honor of a genocidist, a British genocidist. Because they brainwash us that, look, it is them that brought development. Today, you see our people arguing it. When you talk about religion, foreign religion, they say, no, without this religion, will you have school? It's them that build the hospital. So, for them, forgetting that before the advent of Europeans in our land, women have been giving birth to children. Who is taking care of them? How are they being taken care of? People have been sick and healed. How? Is it because they come, they build, call it a hospital? We have our hospitals. It's our hospital, which without the coming of the British, without the coming of the Europeans, we would have developed it in our own way. But the function of a colonialist is to make sure that you permanently accept that they did you a favor by coming to kill you. That's what is holding, you accept the full. That's why, the Almajiris are there. Since the conquest of the Hausa land by the Fulani, they put Almajiris, they turned it, the heads of the people, the preachers, people handling the imams, they all are Fulani. They are teaching one thing: superiority of their race, that they brought you God, they brought the house as God, they are the superior, so you have to bow to them, so that they will be permanently obedient to them. Just like as we are permanently defending religion, those that killed us, those that bought us, it's the same thing. Now I'm taking it the two sides, because we are conquered, colonized, and mentally colonized. So you have to be permanent there. It is only this awakening that will make people rebel, rise up, and say, no, these people have been lying to us, deceiving us. And that is when the people can rise up. Otherwise, we remain permanently there. I don't know, Mazi, whether you want to say something, please, you go. Mazi.
Yes, Mazi Jonathan.
He said whether you grow up in the north or you just learn the thing you are listening from. Just
okay.
Go on.
Yes, I was born and raised in the north. To answer your question, and to also tell you that what the man in Enyimba told you is also true. In Already Biafra, I believe all of us know that what we support here is truth. But we have to understand the context, that there are different sources of history. Master Jonathan have highlighted so many of them. Some of them is an oral history. Some of them is what you learn in school. Some of them are politically influenced history. Some of them are derived history. For example, what you just talked about, we bearing names that are obviously not indigenous to us. Bear Matthew, bear Peter, bear John. You have to know that it comes from somewhere. From that alone, it will tell you, you will begin to ask questions and you will be able to know where it comes from. Me today telling you that if somebody come to my land and tell me that Excelency is Satan, common sense tells me that you don't name what you don't have. So if before you are coming and telling us about somebody who fell from heaven, I already have the name Satan and did not know of a story of anybody who was casted away from heaven, it tells me that that Satan that you are calling certainly cannot be the Excelency that I know. I don't need a book history to tell me that. I can derive it from the reality around me. And besides, what happened in the northern Nigeria with the Hausa people is just 200 years. It's just about 8 generations. So the preservation of history, even if it's orally, transmitted, it would not have gone, extinct from the people. And then with that, you can be able to now put together what you have on the internet, the Wikipedia, the algorithm on the Google, to be able to put them together and know which one is reality or which one is true based on all this different type of history.
Okay.
Go on, Mazi.
Okay, so the last question is this. My last question is this. Though what played out in Enyimba was just a very funny and ridiculous one, because somebody telling me that Mazi, our learned professor, who exposes the evil of beget with GMO, then that he just went there and was talking rubbish. He's not saying that the man is, doing propaganda. So I got angry. I just left him because he never understand what he said. That maybe he has gone to arrange that inside the Google and put it there for us to claim that we are fighting Biafra. I said, what kind of animal is this one? So I have to walk away. But that's by the way. So my last question is this. Sir, maybe I didn't hear you well when you were coming up introducing your topics to address us about this issue. Did I hear you say that the intention of the Fulani are not religiously inclined, just but tribalistic? Or there's a way I heard them, the network was somehow bickering. I want to know, are you saying that because...
Thank you very much. And I think the deception, the Fulani deception, it is multifaceted. They use religion, they use Arewa region, that is the north. Anytime they also want Nigeria. Nigeria unity is non-negotiable. Democracy is a game of numbers. These are things they use, including religion. Religion is number one. They used to rally their tools, mostly the Hausa. So that's it. So thank you, Mazi. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Caller on signal. Can you hear me? Caller on signal. Well, let me see. Caller on signal. Are you still there or you are gone? I don't know. Mazi Fani. I think you are gone. But we must continue, please. I think we are heading towards the end of the program. Honestly, I have a caller here, but is I don't know, is gone. So what I'm saying is this: it is high time for the indigenous people to rise up. When you hear that Britain colonized Igbo land, or let me see, the indigenous people in Nigeria and from Nigeria. It is not rocket science. It's like this. So it happened in the presence of people.
We are seeing it here now. Fulani are colonizing everybody. They are using it to play politics. This one say, the governor say, I cry. When they kill my people, I cry. Tinubu say, if I cannot, I beg, Plateau State governor, do anything you can. It become no more military. It's happening in our presence, in our own lifetime. Caller on signal. Mazi Fanny, please, you'll be the last caller. Please go on. Caller on signal. Please go on. Mazi Fanny, can you hear me? I don't know. Mazi, can you hear me? Caller on signal. Are you there? Caller on signal. There, go on, go on, go on. You're wasting time. Go on, please.
Mazi from his location. Mazi, one thing is certain. In this our struggle for survival, I thank our leader, and also I thank our DOS. The professor of our leader have been fulfilling all this while, and our leader said that Hausa people will rise and claim their rightful place as the indigenous people, one of indigenous people in the zoo called Nigeria. Mazi, one thing is certain that we have many missions to accomplish as long as the struggle for survival and the struggle for Biafra restoration is concerned. And that's the agenda of this struggle, that we will make sure that all the indigenous of being contraction called Nigeria have been trapped by the amalgamation of 1914 must get their way out, and we must accomplish that. Now, let me come to the event that Sultan of terrorists that tried to declare the media as a terrorist organization. Mazi, they never say anything yet, because they have been committing crime and atrocity against Hausa people all this while, thinking that nobody will know their evil plan against Hausa people. But their days are numbers. We promise them that then we chase out of the north and go to Tajelon, where they come from. That's the promise. And concerning our land, we don't beg anybody to support Eastern Security Network. But if you like, you go to Abuja, do your birthday celebration. If you like, go to Lagos and do it. As about church, I go mine. After the running, we count the meters. I believe that a word is enough to the wise people. But for we have decided to get our freedom. Instead of a Fulani man to take any inch or a single or little inch of our land, Mazi, we have put our life in line and swear that it can never happen. Otherwise, all of us will go down. May God bless and bless my brother who, giving us this orientation and the enlightenment with the Hausa language is not easy. But Chukwu bless and protect you, because we still have a many mission to accomplish by Hausa people. Hausa people must claim their land. And that is the promise. Mazi, may God bless you. Let me allow that.
Thank you very much. Yeah. There were. I'm now joined by Mazi Chidubem. Can you hear me, Mazi Chidubem?
Yes.
You'll be the last caller,
it's
please.
Okay. It's already after 1 a.m. here. Good morning, Wachineke.
There were.
Mazi Jonathan Chineji. Ezeboton Wachuku. Ana makoko ndi chende mpo na ndegede. Diko to ha si malite na njema. Na ga na-eji gị wee na-esi na akwụ dị n'ime gị wee na-arụ ọrụ dị ebube. Mazi, I want to thank you specially for this program this evening. I also want to thank my brother Mazi Obasi. Mazi, honestly, I don't understand Hausa. I just understand very little. But I think this program needs to continue because our focus right now is to make sure we continue this evangelism to our brothers in the north. Nnamdi Kanu promised the Fulanese that we will support in chasing them down out of the contraction called the zoo. And I'm so grateful to Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu this very day, having preached this pristine gospel without any form of bias. The realities he preached are playing out today. It is only in Nigeria that the head of a terrorist like Sultan of Sokoto, who is the head of the most dreaded terrorist in the world, can come out today to cast aspersion on the social media, simply because through the social media, IPOB and every lovers of freedom are pushing out the atrocities, the heinous atrocities of the Fulanese. In a sane government, Sultan of Sokoto is supposed to have been hanged long ago. Sultan of Sokoto is a chronic terrorist. It is so unfortunate that it is only in Nigeria that idiots like that buffoon called Sultan of Sokoto can come out to speak. But the fact is, we will support the Northerners, the Nupes, the Baggies, the Hausas, the Kanuris to make sure the bad bloods in Fulanese are flushed out of the land. I want to thank Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for teaching us the principles of consistency. Consistency is a principle that must be taught right from our kindergarten when Biafra is formed. As a result of our positivities, practicing this so-called consistency, we have been able to demolish every foundation that is holding the zoo. I used to say one thing to the Nigerian government. The greatest mistake Nigeria made was allowing them to preach this gospel on Radio Biafra. They thought holding Nnamdi Kanu will stop Biafra. Wole Soyinka said it long ago that Biafra is a spirit. Biafrans don't die. We are seeds. When we die, we reincarnate. When they bury us, we germinate. Every lover of freedom for Biafra has this. Everybody who is possessed for this cause is a spirit speaking in human being form. We will continue to revolutionize the minds of our people. Our destination is Biafra. We are not calling for anybody's land. Neither are we calling for war. But we are speaking against the persecution against the Biafran people. Our cause is genuine. We have come to defend Biafra so that we can live as a people and grow in our own pace. Our unity with the Fulanese has made an Igbo man a talk of the town everywhere they go in the world. We cannot showcase our talent. We are being stifled. We cannot even progress. A lot of atrocities are happening in our land as a result of our unity with the Fulanese. An average Igbo man is a pristine man. If you want to have the definition of who an Igbo man is, Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is a definition of who an Igbo man is. A man without any crime attached to his name. A man who has chosen the freedom of his people over his own life. A man who has unified us under one umbrella after the genocidal war against our people. A man the Nigerian government committed atrocity, a crime on. It is so unfortunate that the lives of United Nations have not sanctioned Nigeria for the case of Nnamdi Kanu up to this moment. It is so unfortunate that those who preach to us their European nonsensical democracy are subsidize the world. From this Radio Biafra, Ibrahim Traore is revolutionizing the mind of his people that the Western democracy has no development for Africa. We must build in our own space, organize our own form of governance, and live as a people the way our ancestors live. May the gods of our land continue to strengthen Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Jonathan ezigbote nwa Chineke. Ka Chukwu okike ndị mbụ na ndị egede, ndị elu na ndị ala na ndị mmiri. Mmụọ niile gere ha so bi ụwa. Ka ha si n'ime agwụ gị wee na-agbago ume. Akọnuche gị agaghị ata ata Mazi. Ị ga na-agbasa ozi ọma n'ime eziokwu n'ime mmụọ na-agbasara anyị ozi ọma na Chukwu na ndị ala. Udo dịrị gị nwa Chineke. And thanks to our brother Mazi Obasi.
Thank you very much. Udo dịrị gị. Thank you. Before Mazi, before you give, because this is where I'm going to switch off the phones, please. Before you give your pattern shot, let me read the DOS public notice of 16th April 2025. It has come to the knowledge of the Directorate of States of the Indigenous People of Biafra that with the commencement of our campaign to return our people to farming and revive the ancient ways of our forefathers in rearing animals, especially goats, cow, and fowl. The enemies of Biafra have been seeking ways to counter our efforts to make Biafra land self-sufficient in food production. It is therefore imperative to bring to the attention of Biafrans all over Biafra land the following. 1. The Nigerian government is sponsoring agents who are going into our rural areas to inject our domestic animals with dangerous substances. These agents claim they are veterinary doctors from the Nigerian Ministry of Health and are mandated to take care of your animals. 3. They are sponsored to destroy our domestic animals and the small-scale animal husbandry or animal husbandry business of Biafrans with the ultimate goal to sabotage our effort or to sabotaging our efforts at making our land self-sufficient in food production and jeopardize our food security. 4. When you see such individuals, resist them from entering your premises, poultry, and ranches. 5. Under no circumstance or intimidation should anyone allow them to come close to your home, let alone allowing them to inject any substance on your animals. Those injections will cause your animals not to reproduce. Alert the public if they try to compel or force you to give them access to your animals. These agents are working towards the same agenda with those who want to introduce GMO seeds in our land. Dr. Okadibo Chiwendom, DOS Press Secretary. I ask, as an Igbo man in our land, have a Nigerian government ever given us any good thing? It's a commonsensical question now. Have you seen a Nigerian government? If you have your poultry farm, for example, you have your own veterinary doctor, private, you are paying, doing all these things. But when they say Nigerian government, say federal government, say bring this and that, resist them. These are mad people. Whether they are Igbo people, agents, or any other, it doesn't matter. Once they say they are from Nigerian government, they want to inject your, they do. What they are talking is cock and bull stories. Cock and bull stories. A government that sidelined Biafra land in 2025 developmental budget, and they will come to give you good thing. Have a sense now. We can because only on Nabia, say no na bogo no docket and the man. Now government is there not free of charge. Hey man, buy na like free of charge. The cowboy go cowboy hibo go ogu or kuko na enye hankanye ekwekwe na.
if you email her allow ha me ha gba ya ọgwụ gbawo ụmụ anụmanụ gị ọgwụ ha gazi amozi nwa is part of the get agenda. Anything they bring it to our land. The good things they will not. Just as they are shouting, hey, Igbos, come to military. Come to military. When it comes to that, they bring Igbos. They will not tell Igbos, oh yeah, join, we need Igbos in NNPC. We need Igbos in Central Bank. No, go to Central Bank. The other time, our Hanes and Igbo is accusing the Central Bank governor, I think he's a Yoruba man, of ethnic cleansing. And that is true. So anything that federal government say is them that please run, no run as an Igbo man, as a Biafra, run. No good thing comes out. No good thing. They can never give you good thing. What they give us is debt, marginalization, debt. That is it. So please, Mazi Obase, please come and make your pattern address, please, both in English and Hausa listeners. Please go on. Go on.
No, Mazi Jonathan. So, a takaice dai yan uwa na Hausawa, wannan kira ne da mun a farkar da ku. Ku farka daga bacci, al'ummar Hausawa, ku farka daga bacci. Lokaci ya yi da za ku farka. Don ku san cewa Inyamurai ba abokan gabanku ba ne, Yarbawa ba abokan gabanku ba ne, abokan gabanku su ne Fulanika, su suka kwace kasanku, su suka rusar da sarautarku, su suka zama masu mulki a kanku, su ne masu yin amfani da addini da yaudarar da ku, kuma suke ci gaba da maimaye ƙasarku. Ku haɗa kai, Hausawa ku haɗa kai, ku kafa wani tsari na sarautar Hausawa na gaskiya, inda za ku dawo da mulkinku na asali, kuma ku koma ga tarihinku, ku dawo da sarakunanku, ku kuma bar mulkin emiya. Mulkin emiya mulki ne na Fulanika, wanda Fulanika suka kafa, wanda kakansu Ottoman Danfodio ya kafa. Ya kamata ku cire kanku a cikin mulkin emiya. Emiya ba sarkinku ba ne, sarkin Fulanika ne. Ku haɗa kanku da sauran al'ummomin arewacin Najeriya wanda su ‘yan ƙasa ne na asali ba Fulanika ba. Ku gane abokan gabanku na gaskiya kuma ku tunkari ku fuskance shi wannan mamayen da Fulanika suke yi a ƙasanku. Greetings to all freedom lovers, Biafrans, our people in the Middle Belt, the Hausa brothers, and everyone who is a victim of the Fulani operation. This is a wake-up call to all the indigenous people, especially the Hausa people of which we are speaking concerning them today, that it is time to wake up. To wake up and know that your enemies are not the Igbo people, but the Fulani people. It is the Fulani people that brought an end to your kingship. It is the Fulani people who have imposed themselves as your leaders, even though they are minority. It is the Fulani people who are taking your wealth, your patrimony, all the things that you have in your land and your land itself, and emasculating you. It's not the Yoruba people, it's not the Igbo people, it is the Fulani people. You need to be aware. It is time for all Hausa people to come together. Irrespective of your religion, know that the most important thing for the Fulani people is their tribe and not their religion. Come together as Hausa people and emancipate yourself. Institute your own kingship that is distinct from the emir, because that is how you were before they came to your land. Go back to your history. Institute your own kingship as Sarkuna, as Sarki, in your own way that you have always done it. And keep yourself away from these terrorists that are using you as cannon feathers, that are using you and creating enmity between people who never hated you in the first place. When you do this, your freedom will be nearer than you even think. Thank you very much.
There were Mazi. There were, and we must continue in this awakening message. This revolutionary radio is here for this, because the most important thing, the most important part of restoration, physical restoration or physical independence, the most important part is mental restoration. When you restore a people mentally, it's just like you wake somebody from sleep. Somebody that is sleeping cannot walk, because somebody that is sleeping cannot run. When there is danger and somebody is deep asleep, the first thing is to just wake him, shake him, pour him cold water so that he will rise up. Once he rises up, now he will see the danger around him. Now his leg will start walking. His brain will start working, and he will understand the type of mess he is in. He will now fight for himself. That is what we are doing. You cannot carry a dead body, say you restore a country filled up with zombies that are not awakened. You end up restoring a country that is even worse than where you come from. That is it. So what we are trying to do here on Radio Biafra is to open people's eyes. And that is what is penning the status quo. That is what is penning those that are gaining, the colonizers. That is what is penning those that are gaining from the zombism of people, like Sadwana of Sokoto. That is what is penning them. Are you hearing me? That is why they still kept Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS dungeon, to know whether they can buy him or silence him or destroy IPOB. Because if it is money, they tell you, name your price. So that they don't want the people to awaken. Remember that the Northern Caliphate, the Sokoto Caliphate, they did the same thing. When Britain, conquered them, they bowed down to Britain and begged them, negotiated with Britain and said, please, with Lugard, don't awaken our people. Don't introduce your type of education, because it will make the people smart. And once the people are smart, we are gone. Instead, we will give you our children to attend your education. So, but leave these people to be sleeping. So, the highest weapon is waking people. That is why when people call and say, no, the problem we have is politicians, I say, I beg to differ. The problem is the population. Once people are sleeping, if a thief comes to your house and you are sleeping, everybody is sleeping. It doesn't matter how mighty the people are. Maybe if they are awake, they are power mic, they are military. But once they are sleeping, they are gone. The thief, we just one thief, one robber, we enter into a house and steal anything he wants, because the people are fast asleep. That is what the Fulanis are doing. The indigenous people in Nigeria are asleep. So they are on the rampage. They are taking over. They are taking over everywhere because the people are sleeping. Now we are waking people up. That is why they are mad, because we are disturbing their agenda. Are you hearing? Are you hearing what I'm saying? We are disturbing their agenda. How can Fulani have meeting in Nigeria capital, the whole Fulani in the whole of Africa? Which other tribe have done this before? They have a standing army. But they will call they sideline the houses during that meeting. You are no more for Northerners or Muslims. This is for the Fulani. They plan their thing. But when it comes to doing other work, they mobilize you using, you are Northerners. Oh, we are Muslims. So yeah, come and let us deal with the army. They are the problem. No.
because they see that you are sleeping, you are ignorant. An ignorant person is mentally sleeping. That is why whenever I mount here, I don't take it easy with waking people up. I'm telling you, in every way. Because once you're ignorant, you are sleeping. Enemy can come and steal, and you'll be defending. Because when you are defending a colonizer or what he did, oh, he brought his ascent. If not be this religion, are we going to be speaking today? It's them that invented the car. It's them that you are, because you are ignorant. You are completely ignorant, and you are sleeping. That's why you need to be waking up. When you wake up, you start understanding, you start feeling your environment. Now, they know the tell man. Ada go Washington, because you are awakened. You will be seeing things that others are not seeing. Somebody that is sleeping, he don't know whether snake will enter the room. He doesn't know. He is snoring, sleeping. He's fast asleep. But you that is awake, okay, now focus. Hey, look at danger. Oh, the person will be sleeping until you wake the person. Once you wake him up, say, hey, wow, okazie yanjo. But before he was sleeping with in the same bed with the snake, with the danger. He didn't know. So that is how many of our people are. They don't understand the danger we are in. When you tell them that, look, they use this even everything in order to cage us mentally, they tell you saying a lie. They start telling you the goodies of mental slavery, the goodness. The same way the Hausa today, they come. If you see in a mosque where they have 2,000 houses and only one Fulani, that Fulani, they will be. It's not a Fulani that will come out. Oh. If they say they are looking for somebody to lead them as imam, they will first of all search whether there is that one Fulani there. They will bring him out because they have been mentally colonized to accept inferiority in the presence of the Fulani. That is the work of mental caging. They offer themselves, oh yeah, master, come and lead us. It is your duty, and he will gallantly come out. He didn't force them. Even if he said no, they say no. You are the master. You are the master now. You are our spiritual guide. It's natural. So you come and lead us because this is what the type of education they receive from their colonizers, the Fulani, and they continue like that. But once they wake up, they will start understanding things in a different way. They start seeing the reality and say, "Come, why are we, for fooling ourselves like this? Why are we so stupid like this?" Now that thing they thought it was very glamorous to respect the people that brought them God. Now they see it as stupidity. They now start seeing reality that it is mental colonization. That is what we are doing here. Not what we want. That is what we are doing here on Radio Biafra, started by Mazi and Nnamdi Kanu. Therefore, we must continue. Biafra remains our religion. Biafra is our ideology. And here on Radio Biafra is where we gather, our parliament, and where we worship. There is no two ways about it. We must continue until Biafra is restored, because it is either Biafra or Biafra. Therefore, from me, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, from here together with Mazi Obasi, it is simply good evening.
good afternoon, good evening, and good night to great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra also service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Alo province of Biafra land, and we are here live and direct. Today is the 31st day of August 2024. Tata Bobo Kyrie. Therefore, you all know why we are here today. We are a few minutes late. Please, I apologize because of issues that are beyond our control. But without taking any much more time, I will hand over the platform, the microphone, to our General Officer Commanding, Mazi Sanwo-Olu, to take over. Please, Mazi, welcome to the program, and over to you.
Mazi Chinedu, Ndewo Nwa Chineke. I hope I'm coming out very clear.
You are coming out crystal clear.
Biafrans and all the lovers of freedom. My name is Mazi Sanwo-Olu. Mazi Sanwo-Olu. Serve the indigenous people of Biafra as a member of the Directorate of State. I come from Obingwa. Obingwa is in Aba province. This evening I have come to continue to spread the gospel for the restoration of Biafra. I have come to clarify and clear some doubts and analyze certain issues that our people tends to be confusing, our people. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world. And I will use this opportunity to thank every IPOB member, all the IPOB coordinators, principal officers serving in different capacities around the world.
Location and personnel in all private hospitals in Nigeria. And this data they are actually collecting that's totally unconstitutional. You cannot collect private data for any purpose, first without seeking the consent of the organizations involved, personal consent of the people involved, and explaining to them what this data is for. One, a foreign agent cannot collect data in Nigeria. So the Global Fund funded.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. Sorry for the perturbation. There is just lesser perturbation, but we must continue. Therefore, as I said before, I still hand over the mic to our GOC, Mazi Chinasa Nworu. Mazi Chinasa, please, the platform is yours. You can go on. The green light is there.
Yeah, Mazi, I hope we are back now
You
on
are
air.
back. Of course, you're back. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mazi. Biafrans and all the lovers of freedom. We believe this is just an attack. Radio. Every one of you supposed to know that the last time I came for a program on BTV, my last broadcast was on BTV. After the broadcast, Facebook pulled down the whole of the broadcast. And we tried to find out, they said that the BTV was broadcasting, that a dangerous individual was broadcasting through their channel. And that really baffles me because I came on BTV, broadcasted to our people, and Facebook pulled down the BTV program, claiming that BTV hosted a dangerous individual of an organization. And we appeal, asking them to prove how Mazi Chinasa Nworu becomes a dangerous person that BTV, instead for them to appeal, what they did was they returned, instead of them to give reasons, what basis why they say I am a dangerous person from a dangerous organization broadcasting on BTV, instead for them to respond, what they did was to release the page back for Facebook, on Facebook. So these are the challenges we are having. Facebook is always attacking these our platforms anytime the leadership of IPOB is on air. But notwithstanding, they have not stopped us years back, they won't stop us today, and they cannot stop us tomorrow. So let me get back to the main topics I would like to discuss on Radio Biafra today. I would like to make it very, very clear. I will discuss about the sit at home that some criminals and Nigerian government are now using to threaten our people. Under the coverage of the sit at home, they are using to commit crimes, kidnapping, organ trafficking, because they are looking for a free day for them to be able to start committing their crimes. And at the end of it, they will put the blame on IPOB. Another point I'm going to talk about is the betrayal of IPOB, how IPOB leadership was betrayed by people that this leadership have protected, people that this leadership organized, people that this leadership brought on board, and people that this leadership have, given everything they have. But what the leadership of IPOB got is betrayal upon betrayal. But notwithstanding the betrayals, IPOB leadership is still standing, and we are standing with our shoulders very high, making sure that we do the things we need to do in order to restore Biafra. Another point I'm going to discuss on Radio Biafra tonight is also the forces that are determined to keep the sovereignty of Nigeria together. There are forces that have determined that Nigeria must remain as one. These are the forces. Every Biafran must focus on these particular forces. We must, all our fight, all our agitations, we cannot agitate for the restoration of Biafra without putting all these forces, both external and internal forces. We have to put them into consideration and make sure that we dismantle these forces. Because without dismantling these forces, it is very difficult for us to restore Biafra. Another point I'm going to discuss this night also is the Commonwealth British Army recruitment, that they opened the doors as in the Commonwealth countries, and suddenly some of our Igbo brothers who are gullible, that doesn't know their history, started campaigning for the recruitment of Biafrans into the British Commonwealth Army. I'm going to talk about it also this evening. Also this evening, I'm going to talk about the kidnapping crimes that are happening in Biafra land, in Imo State, in Enugu, and the Anambra South. Even in the Anambra North also, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about places where the new tactics these criminals are using. They are using farmlands, farm settlements. They are using uncompleted buildings, committing atrocities in our place, and those issues will be taken care this evening. Another point I'm going to talk about that concerns our people, the life of our people, is the maltreatment of hospitals in Biafra land, their extortion, their ill treatment of how they treat sick Biafrans when the exploitation going in the medical field. And that is why we are having numerous deaths at any simple thing. People can die in the hospital and they will hold your dead body, asking your family to pay from their nose before they take your corpse. This is something we are not going to accept in Biafra land, and this evening we are going to also look into it. Another very important topic this evening will be roadblocks by Nigerian police and security officers in Biafra land. We are going to tackle it, and decisions will be made over these roadblocks. We will tell Nigerian government and their agents, whoever is standing on the way in Biafra land, any moment from now, risk himself. Whether you are working, Nigerian government sent for you, because the extortion and the killing and the disappearance of Biafrans on the numerous checkpoints in Biafra land will no more be accepted. Another person I'm going to talk about, a little issue about him this evening, will also be the new political harlot in Biafra land by name Benjamin Carlo. What he have made himself, well known that he is the new Ojos or Carlos, the new saboteurs. He has been recruited that because he is called the number 6, he is now ready to sell Biafra land, but we are going to cure his madness in Biafra land. We have seen people like him, and this evening, I swear to Chukwokika Biama, we shall read the fatwa. Since he's serving the Northerners, he should ask the Northerners what fatwa is against him in Biafra land, that anywhere he dare open his mouth to talk with authority, a former 419 who had his office in South Africa, even currently, suddenly came into power, sick number 6, and he thinks he can come out to dare to talk for Biafran people because he goes and gives some people some money and he feel now he has arrived. We IPOB from this evening, we take his case very serious, and anywhere we see him in Biafra land, he have a score to settle with IPOB from this evening. And finally, at the end of this program, there are some decisions that will be made on setting command of ESN on Radio Biafra this evening. These are some of the points, very serious points we are going to handle this evening. But before I go to this point, Mazi Chinedu, I will give back the microphone to you. So if you have any question to ask me before I start handling these topics, that would be great. Thank you, Mazi.
Mazi. I don't think I have any question for now because you have stipulated the points. You have to continue from time to time. If I may, I might interrupt and ask any question, if I may. Mazi, please continue. The platform is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Mazi Chinedu. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want to use this opportunity this evening to inform every Biafran. We have heard a certain calls, some press release coming from the Nigerian police in Imo State claiming that IPOB are threatening Imo State workers over sit-at-home order. I hope, Biafrans, every one of you are freely going for your businesses, you are freely doing things irrespective of their fake and misinformation in order to create chaos in Biafra land. I want to make this thing very, very clear for people to understand something about the sit-at-home. This sit-at-home, the first sit-at-home IPOB ordered when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned was on 8th August 2021. That was when we gave the order with reasons. And that was not the first time we are doing sit-at-home. We gave the reason why we are locking down Biafra land because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned from Kenya to Nigeria. During that time, the IPOB leadership was accused of many accusations of how we sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Every one of you know about that. If we are not sincere, if Chukwokika Biama is not with us, few people can survive the attack the leadership of IPOB went through. Few, if there are people. Few people. The level of blackmail from IPOB family members who were misinformed, the level of blackmail coming from people they call IPOB members also in America, the level of blackmail that came from the siblings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. For them, they are not blackmailing the IPOB leadership because they don't know the truth. They knew everything. They knew what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But their reason for blackmailing IPOB leadership was because they wanted to take over the leadership of IPOB. Many people should know this. The siblings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not blackmail IPOB leadership because they don't know the truth. They knew everything. They knew Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in Kenya. They knew Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. They were negotiating with the people that kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya in secret. Suddenly, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was brought down to Nigeria. The brother of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knew. The secretary of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knew. Uchenno Kafo, she knew Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped in Kenya. They were negotiating with people, trying to pay money or trying to thinking they pay money, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released. I don't know why they took up that decision. And when I confronted the secretary of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, she told me that the brother of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu threatened her that if she dare opens mouth and tell any member of the IPOB leadership that they will kill her. That's why she did not inform anybody. Reasons that it is only the siblings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu trusted. That is the only people he trusted. That is the only people he has to inform and who knew what happened to him. Now, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned, also there are hits. People, they were talking about that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu may not survive in the DSS custody because of the torture and what he went through in Kenya. The IPOB leadership came up with this action and said, we are going to lock down. And I made it very clear on the day I made that pronouncement that this is subject to review. The purpose of locking down is to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was brought out to the court. Because on 25th July, where he's supposed to be reassigned in the court, he was not brought to court. There are information that he were sick. There were information that the lawyers were denied access of meeting him. There were too many informations, and the leadership of IPOB went straight and put up this sit-at-home order to happen every Monday. This is a decision we do not regret for making that decision because we are fighting an oppressor. We are fighting Nigerian government who is oppressing and killing our people. On the process why we are doing this, the siblings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came up and asked us, why should we put sit at home? I vividly remembered very clearly when the younger brother